Okay, folks, so we're on part 3 video of solving rational equations, and we look at the next one, and we first find the LCD, as we stated before, and you can see that I put the yellow highlighter on the original equation. So once you have your LCD, you look to say which factors of the LCD are missing from your first term, second term, and third term on the right-hand side. So you can see that we're missing, for the 1, it doesn't have a denominator, so you have to multiply by x over x and x minus 5 over x minus 5. So when we do that, we're going to distribute, that's just a 1 time. So we're going to distribute in the top, we get x squared minus 5x. And then that's going to be over the x times x minus 5. And I generally, as a rule, I don't multiply it together until I'm finished. So then I have minus 8x, and then that's over x times x minus 5. And then that's equal to 3x minus 15, and that's over x times x minus 5. So now it kind of makes sense that if you multiply each term by the LCD, what's going to happen? And that's x times x minus 5. Essentially, you're going to multiply each, the equal sign, each term. And I like to do it like this because then you might get why we're canceling. We're multiplying both sides of the equation by x times x minus 5. But what we're doing, we're actually distributing on the left-hand side, and then we're multiplying the right-hand side by x times x minus 5. So that would be like I would multiply the left and the right-hand side by the LCD, okay? Now, as you can see, what that's going to do is the x's cancel and the x minus 5's cancel. So let's just cancel them all together like so, okay? So now I'm going to need a little bit more space, but let's write this first part of the equation. So we get x squared minus 5x minus 8x is then equal to 3x minus 15. So we're going to combine like terms on the left-hand side, which gives us an x squared minus 13x equals 3x minus 15. So now, didn't write the 1. So now we're going to shrink this down just a little bit. And when we do, then we're going to have a little more room here so we can solve this. But recognize now our equation is a quadratic equation. So we're going to bring everything over to the left, but we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, and we're going to add 15 to both sides. And you see we don't really have a 15 on the left-hand side, so I'm going to move this over and add 15. Okay, so then on the left-hand side, we have the x squared, bring that down, x squared minus 16x, and then plus 15 is equal to 0. So now remember, I didn't do this at first, but we're saying to ourselves, x cannot be 0 or 5 for the constraints. Okay, if we happen to get 0 or 5, then we've got a problem. Okay, so you want to make sure that you check that you don't have one of those two in the end. So let's see. We get x minus 15. I'm just going to put in both minuses for right now. X minus 1, that has to be equal to 0. So now are the signs right? The factors of 15 is sum to negative 16, and that's what we have. So we get x is equal to 15 and 1. And upon checking, those two will check out, okay? But x is 0 or 5, not a problem there because it's 15 and 1, okay? So next we have the equation 3x minus 2 over x minus 2, and then 6 over x squared minus 4, noting that you guys are probably thinking ahead of time, this is x plus 2x minus 2. It factors as the difference of two squares, and then we have just the plus 1 on the outside. So what we want to do is get the same denominator for all the terms, as the 1 doesn't have any denominators. Notice again, I highlighted in yellow the original equation. So in the first term on the left-hand side of the equal sign, we're missing the factor of x plus 2. Since our LCD here, I had to factor the one denominator, got it. The LCD is x minus 2x plus 2. So I'm missing the x plus 2 from that first term on the left-hand side of the equation. Then I've got 6 over x minus 2x plus 2. And then I've got the 1 where I have to multiply both factors of the LCD over itself. Okay, so now we are ready. So what we have to do, remember, you have the 3x minus 2 in blue and the x plus 2 in red. You have to multiply those together. So that's going to give you 3x squared when you FOIL, start doing this, plus 2x minus 2, so that's going to be plus 4x. Plus 2 times 3x would be 6x, minus 2x is 4x, and then you have a minus 4. So that's all over the same denominator. Now I'm going to go right to the same denominator. It's x squared minus 4. Now we have the same denominator. The LCD is actually x squared minus 4. So is equal to, here this one is just 6 over x squared minus 4. And then we have plus, we have x squared minus 4 over itself. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to multiply both sides of the equation by x squared minus 4. And the denominators will then cancel. But what you can do is, since you would distribute on the right-hand side, you can multiply each term by x squared minus 4 on the right-hand side. And then all you're going to do is just cancel, since you're multiplying, cancel. So then at the bottom here, now scroll up, and we got 3x squared plus 4x minus 4, because these become ones, and that's equal to 6 plus x squared minus 4. So then the 6 minus 4, I'm going to make that a 2, okay? So now I have 2 plus x squared on this side, on the right-hand side. So we're going to set that equal to 0 because we have a quadratic equation. We're going to subtract x squared, and we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Oops. So when we do that, then we get 2x squared for our leading term, plus 4x, and then minus 6. That's equal to 0. So typically what we do is we factor out the greatest common factor, which is 2 here, and that gives us an x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. So now I need the factors of negative 3 that are going to sum to 2. So I leave the 2 out here, and that's going to give me x times x, and then the factors of 3, so I'm going to put a 3 and a 1, and I need to have a negative 3, so it's going to have to be minus 1 and plus 3 to get the plus 2. And so now we haven't really talked about what our constraints are in here. Again, we kind of skip by it, but x cannot be 2 or negative 2, okay? So we have those two. But when we look at our answers, we get solutions x is equal to 1 and x is equal to, or x is equal to negative 3. Now I skipped the part where we say x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. Hope you guys got that. Because remember, it was x minus 1 equals 0, x plus 3 is equal to 0. So it produces those two answers then. Okay?